friends, how are you doing? Hello, friends, how are you? So, I was doing a freaking video and I apparently couldn't hear anything, which is good because I have, I don't like having to cut up my videos. I just want to tell you, and that's it. Okay? Oops, that's not the one I'm trying to get. Let's see. This one? We'll do that one. Okay, since she was all smug and happy. Okay, so let me get into why I feel inclined. And by the way, I'm having dinner right now. So, yeah. So you're going to hear me eating. I'm sorry. Okay. Just got out of work and I live in Texas. It's 1,000 degrees. There you go. Okay. So, hold on. I feel like I have a better picture though. No. I guess I'll go back with Old Faithful here. The thing that chaps my ass, as people will say, is okay. She felt so determined to prove to everybody on the YouTube streets that she is able to get Jarrod back, no problems, right? She just had to, because, there's nothing else going on in her life to focus on, like the CPS cases, regaining custody, primary custody of her children. I mean, nothing, no goals, nothing, okay? So she's like, she devises plan. Like, she's like, I'm going to prove to Yanni that I can, in fact, get Jarrod back. I sure can. And I'm going to prove it because you have to prove it on the internet, okay? So, okay, let's say she just had to do it, right? Okay, cool. Okay. You didn't have to put out. You didn't have to. All you have to do in a situation like that, since she was just was so eager to get him back, all she really had to do, if she was really that if she was really that bitch, all she had to do was lure him over there under, for him thinking that they're going to do it. Instead of she was texting him, begging him for that ass, saying that she just needed him, right? All she had to do was lure him over there. She didn't have to actually sleep with him. She didn't have to. A real playa, right? That girl, a real, how should I say she's that biatch? A real biatch would have lured his ass over like she did and not slept with him and left him with blue balls and everything. Left him like that. She could have just left him saluting and been like, oh, I'm on my period. I'm sorry, I can't sleep with you. Oh my gosh, I just started my period. I just felt a whole bunch just gush right out, right? But no, she wanted to sleep with him so badly. Not only just sleep with him, she sat on his face too. Like she keeps on telling us. She sat on his face, she gave the whole enchilada, flipped over everything. Like everything. Dude, you're not supposed to do that. If you're really that biatch, if you would have just lured him over and been like, oh my God, I can't do it because, I just started my period. Oh my God, I don't know what happened. Or make some shit up. Something suddenly came up. I'm sorry, we can't meet up. You would still have, but you wouldn't have that great of evidence, right? You would still need the pictures of him inside the apartment, right? So, okay, lure him over and then excuse yourself and go to the bathroom and be like, oh my gosh, I need to go to the store. I just started my period. Oh my God. Because if you were really that biatch, you wouldn't put out. You don't have to put out. She is teaching these young women, because I'm older than all of y'all, okay? I'm older than everybody. And she's over there teaching y'all incorrectly. Not that I would lure anybody over under false pretenses. I would never do that. But if this is for her. That was for her. That wasn't for me. That's something she should have done, since she was so desperate to have him over and sleep with him and do all these things, right? Sit on his face and finish on his face and his mouth and all this stuff. She wanted to do that. So I was giving her an alternative, and she wouldn't have to do it all the way, because now cheated you cheated with a married man, and now you got to get what's coming. Okay, I'm not going to say the K word, but you're going to get what's coming to you, as he is as well. But no, she's up here teaching everybody not to have self-worth. Your vaginas are precious. Everybody's is. It's yours. Nobody else has one just like yours. That is yours. And if you don't want to put out, don't put out. And if somebody is really feeling you, they'll fucking wait for you for when you're ready. You don't have to bust it wide open for everybody. You don't. But she's teaching y'all this, and that's not right. That's not right. Have self-worth. She doesn't care about herself. She doesn't have high self-esteem. She's very low self-esteem. Very like finds her worth in if a man likes her. If a man likes her, then she feels significant as a woman. And you should be significant on your own. She was losing weight, looking great. I mean, I was like, okay, cool. She's gonna, he had a glow up. She's having a glow up. That's cool. Y'all are, separate, having a glow up. That's great. Like, she was really showing everybody she was determined to lose this weight. However, she lost it. She was gaining her self-worth that I know she did not have before. Even though she said she didn't. But she went like 10 steps back. And then they both look like shit. Both of them. He looks dingy. She looks dingy. Like, it really, I'm like, dude, did you have to do that? Did you have to? Did you have to go all the way? No, you don't have to. You don't. But you were so inclined to show YouTube that you can get him again. And no, none of us thought you could. And I'm still questioning whether they did it all the way. I don't know. I haven't seen any good evidence. I just saw two fuzzy pictures. No, one fuzzy picture. That's it. Now, if she would have, in her, her small mind, if she wanted to lure him over there, thinking he was going to do it, right? And then, like I said, excuse yourself, go to the bathroom and be like, oh my gosh, I started my period. Oh my God, I can't do it. Whatever. She would have still had the evidence of him in the living room. She would have had evidence of the text messages. And she would have looked like that bitch because she chose not to do it. She would have looked like that bitch because she knew her self-worth was more than that. She would have looked, to me, I would have been like, I would have subscribed right then and there. And I've been like, whatever happened in the past, whatever, she's working on herself. I would have supported her. I would have been like, hell yeah, show that motherfucker. The way you left me, I would have been like, okay, cool. She fucking did that, She would have looked better than the both of them. She would have still made Antonisha look crazy by keep staying with him. She would have still had the evidence. She would have been like, no, I decided not to because I know I'm worth it. She could have did a whole video on it, but she didn't. And you don't have to do it. Don't ever feel pressured or like in order to stay with the crowd or what everybody does out there, because some people don't know what to do because they don't have guidance, they don't have a mother, and these young women are seeing her, and Jarrod and Tanisha too, it's all of them, sees this whole situation, and they're going to make it look normal. They're normalizing the weirdo stuff, and it's not normal. It's not. You have a choice. Opportunities are put in front of you every day by, I say it's God, the universe, whatever you believe in. Situations are put in front of you, and it's what you do with those situations that makes you either the best or worst person. It's all up to you. Yes, he was there on a platter ready to bust it down, But did you have to do it? You were excusing everything he's ever done to you. Everything he's ever done to you and your kids, and taking your kids and separating them from you. Everything. By sitting on his face and doing what you did, you're allowing him to do that. You're giving him that permission. You're giving him that power, and you're worth more than that. That's why it pisses me off so bad. It pisses me off so much, because I'm like, dude, let that motherfucker go. There's so much out there for everybody. Once we cut the fat, once we cut the fat, there's more out there for us. But it's up to you to go and get it by trimming the fucking fat. And that's all that I was saying in my video. I was rudely interrupted. And I'm just saying, you're better than that. You're worthy. You are worthy for love and relationship and stability. You're worth all of that. But you got to work on yourself first, mamitas. All of y'all have to work on yourself, and great things will happen. Okay? She can still turn this around. How? Let me get a drink. Hold on. She can turn this around. She doesn't need to hide from the internet. We all know what you did. You told us, right? We know. We already know, right? All she can do, and I mean this, like, I don't know her in real life, but she's a fellow Cancerian, okay? We're totally different. We different, but we're both Cancers, okay? I'm July Cancer, and she's the other one, okay? But what she can do, what I would do if I got myself in a situation like this in front of everybody. I think that's what makes it harder, is that it's in front of everybody on the internet, right? Everybody's watching, everybody has an opinion, everybody's pointing, right? Everybody's laughing. But the best thing to do is just to go on with your lives that you do normally. Not talk about it anymore. Don't bring him up, because it makes you look like you miss him. Okay? It's giving him power again. Just move on. Focus on yourself. If you're going to move. If you're going to work. Whatever. Just continue on without bringing him up. And show everybody that you learn. And you're going to show people by your actions. And that's what you can do. I would get a little part-time job, because you don't want to leave Kailani, in a daycare that long. Just a part-time job, like 20 hours a week, 15 hours, just to get out there. Have a little extra cash, and, you're able to go do things with the kids. That's content. You can talk about your coworkers as, that's content too, just get your mind off of it, and start healing again, because now you're going to have to heal again from all that shit, And if I were Antonisha, that's what Liv could do. If I were Antonisha, what I would do is, first of all, I would get my ducks in a row, because right now she's solely, I believe, I don't know, solely depends on him. So what I would do is get my ducks in a row without letting anybody know, and I'd get the fuck out. I know they're married, so she might want him to take counseling, couples counseling, solo counseling, and then work on the marriage like that. If she feels like if she believes he'll change, do that if you wish. But if you want to leave him, and this is for anybody in a situation like this, because I know there's a lot of players out there. There's a lot of them. Get your ducks in a row. Figure out your financial status, and just take a leap of faith and just go. And just get out of there. If I were Antonisha, I would document it all. Start documenting it now. And you can get a little career out of this and be like, oh, shit. Everybody thinks she was a pushover. Little did y'all know she was getting her ducks in a row, and she was leading his ass. And with no strings attached. No strings attached, right? But that's just what I would do. Anyways, all right, I'm going to finish eating. Thank you all for joining.